an automatic instant credit. Yeah, okay. So we're in middle. Tonight is not the easy. It's not a hard daf. It's just drushes from psukim. All right.
I guess it's apropos to follow day that we just did a whole bunch of psukim.
That's true. That's true. I don't know. I'm gonna say like maybe hopefully we'll have more understanding of tonight's psukim than today's psukim, but
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So where exactly we got up to Lamed Hey? Where did we get up to? Where did we get up to? Today's daf is what? Lamed Hey.
Today is Lamed Hey.
Today's Lamed Hey. So I think we got to Lamed Dalet Amud Bray. We're on Lamed Dalet Amud Bays.
Halfway down, I think, no?
It was a little bit more, a little higher than halfway. I think we're up to the Al Diyafinon Mitfilin Lipatura. Or V'Harei Ria. 3 lines down. Let's start from Harei Ria just in case we didn't do it. 3 lines down from Lamed Dalet Amud Bays. Now Ria is a mitzvah that's really hopefully will be coming up next week. Hopefully. Right, which is that we have to go to the Beis Hamikdash on Sukkot, Pesach, Shavuos. Right, you have to be seen there. Right, so and you bring a carbon Riyah. Now Riyah, the mitzvah sasei shazman. Again, we're in the sugya mitzvah sasei shazman grama. What nashim are potter, what nashim are chayiv. Not what, meaning when are they chayiv, when are they potter, and why. Right, so Varei Riyah, the mitzvah sasei shazman grama. It's a mitzvah sasei shazman grama, right? Because obviously it's time related, because it's only on Yom Tiv. The time of the Kazar Rahman is zechurcha, and the Torah had to write zechurcha that only men have a chiyuv in Riyah, lahaitzi hanashim, to exclude women. Why do you need a pasuk of zechurcha? Halav hachiv mashma. If not for the pasuk of zechurcha, nashim chayavas, women would be chayiv in Riyah. So you see that mitzvah sasei shazman grama should be chayiv, meaning again. Yesterday we had asked it from Sukkah. 2 days ago, we asked it from Sukkah because you need a special pasuk by Sukkah to say that women are potter. Why do you need a special pasuk? Women are potter from Sukkah because mitzvah says shazman grama, right? Okay, so we gave the teretz that you think that you learn out tesvav from Pesach. Fine. We're asking the same kasha from Riyah. Why do you need a pasuk of zechurcha to tell you that women are potter from Riyah, from going to the Beis Hamikdash on the shalosh regalim? Why don't you just say it's a mitzvah say shazman grama? So one answers we're 6 lines down now. It's Riyah mehakel, because you would have learned from Hakel, which was last year, Sukkot, right after Shemitah, everybody gathers. So you would have thought that we learn out from Hakel. Now Hakel, women are chayiv. So if women are chayiv in Hakel, so you see, okay, maybe they're chayiv in Riyah too. So you would have thought that. So Zechurcha tells you no, that they're not chayiv. So now the Gemara goes back to it now the Gemara is taking a different angle. Right? So we said that one of the sources for a woman being potter from mitzvah shazman grama is we learn out from tefillin. So why should you learn out from tefillin? Why don't we learn it out from simcha? The meaning the simcha, the mitzvah of simcha on Yom Tiv, which a woman is chayiv in. So why don't we learn out from there that mitzvah sasei shazman grama, women are chayiv because they're chayiv in simcha. Isha baila misamcha. This is not such a. This could cost us right here, right? Isha by Yom Tiv, their husband makes her happy, meaning she doesn't have a chiyuv to make herself happy. The husband has a chiyuv to buy things for her for Yom Tiv to make her happy. Same way the husband has a chiyuv to buy the kids candy.
If it just goes to Uman, he makes her happy. No?
That could be too.
Buy her something for her.
That could be too. There's addition by subtraction.
When he comes back after Uman, they're very happy that they're home.
Rav Aaron had somebody
Um,
came over for Yom Tov. They made a pigeon aben. From the pigeon aben, he went to Uman.
Who's,
There you
I'm
go.
sorry, who?
The guy came over. His brother-in-law made a pigeon aben.
Oh.
From the pigeon aben, he left to Uman.
Yeah.
I said, now that.
There you go.
Mendel's Pidyon
Um,
event was tonight. Motzi Rosh Hashanah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And then you went to Uman?
My son's
No.
opinion Ben was Sam Gedalia.
There you go. Okay, but anyways,
We-
so there's a mitzvah of simcha. Now it's an interesting thing because I always thought that she's supposed to have new things for Yom Tov. Women do a fine job buying themselves their own things for Yom Tov nowadays. They don't need their husband. Meaning back then, women stayed home. Nowadays, if anything, I think the women should buy something for the men.
Yeah, I was
Right.
gonna say, whatever you're buying
Here,
for them,
here.
they're not gonna be happy anyway, so you probably do worse.
That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem with how do you apply this nowadays. So Tosfos is not so happy with the Rashi. Right? Look, Rashi says Baila Masamcha Ein Choivas Hasimcha Tluya Ba El Al Baila She is Mechena Kori Baby Simachta. He has to make her happy.
What are you,
Right?
Lamed what? Lamed Dalet?
Lamed Dalet Amud Beis. We're about 10 lines down. Anyways, okay, I in Tosfos to see, but it's late. So, but that's the Tosfos is not so with the that you have to do that because let's see first a little bit. So the Gemara says Almana Ma'ik America. What are you doing around Almana? I never can Almana doesn't have a husband to be Mesameach her. So how does she get Simcha? Very interesting answer. B'shruya etzloi. Almana is wherever she's hanging out, she still doesn't have a mitzvah to go get herself stuff for Yom Tov. Wherever she hangs out, that's who is responsible to buy it for her. Right? So that's also a big chiddush. What about Almana who lives by herself? So now what? So what are the lesson that I take out? It seems like Almanas have to be taken care of by the Hamoinam, right? So do we do that properly? I got about 6 almonas within about 100 feet of my house.
With Simon and Rabbi Greenblatt. That's it.
Unfortunately, that's your taina with the what's it called with Misaskin with the Siddur, right?
Right.
Yeah, the organizations knocked the whole chesed out from everybody. I'm not chas v'shalom blaming the organizations, chas v'shalom. I'm just saying that we all have a responsibility. I mean, I called a few on Erev Rosh Hashanah, but there was a whole list that I didn't. and also calling to say, I ain't buying her clothing for Sukkot. Right, which I do now. Go buy. I don't even think Greenblatt does that. Well, no, he does jewelry. They do jewelry. They send out jewelry. They do. I don't know for every Yom Tif. I don't know, but that's a lesson I'm taking from here. That if there's almonas that we know about, we got to try and get take care of them. So Tosfos's issue with this whole thing is that's only by the Beis Hamikdash. Right, meaning that's only after there's no Beis Hamikdash, but before the Beis Hamikdash, who says that that's the way it is? Okay, whatever it is, well, that's the lesson we take. So Ningo says v'neilach mihakel. So what about why now? No, going back to a different question. Why don't we learn out from Hakel? Right, Hakel is the mitzvah seishas man groma. Right, when the whole Klal Yisrael has to go hear the king the year after Shemitah. Right, so why don't we learn out from there that women are chayiv and hakel, so they should be chayiv in every other mitzvah seishas man grom. Why are we going with tefillin over hakel? So my answer is to have a matzav hakel shnei ksuban avoin ke'echad b'chol shnei ksuban avoin ke'echad ein melamdin. We had this a couple of weeks ago, right? There's a rule that if you have one pasuk in the Torah that says something, you can learn out to everything else that's similar. But if you have 2 psukim, then it must be that why did the Torah write it twice? She only should have written it once. It writes it twice. Must be it's specific to those 2 cases, and that's it. So matzah is one case where it says that women are chayiv, and hakel is another one, right? So since it says those are 2 mitzvahs to say shazman groma, and it says by both of them they're chayiv, mashma, and the other mitzvah says shazman groma, you're not chayiv. So more asks, tefillin v'riya namish next tefillin, which makes you potter, which a woman is potter from, and Riyah, which a woman is potter from. Again, Riyah is the mitzvah of going up to the Beis Hamikdash on Yom Tov. Those are two psukim, mitzvah sasei man gramas, and they're potter, right? So you can't learn out from there, right? Meaning, if you're saying two psukim, by tefillin, women are potter, and by Riyah, women are potter, and you want to learn out to the rest of the Torah that they're potter from mitzvah sasei man grama, how can you do that? How can you do that? It's shnei ksuvin, hapayin kechav. So when it says tzrich, those two you need. Because if you didn't write it, if you wrote it by tefillin, you wouldn't write it by Riyah. You would have thought that Riyah you learn out from Hakel, meaning by Hakel women are chayiv to go. So memela by Riyah they're also because of Riyah, but because of tefillin. If the Torah says Riyah and it doesn't say tefillin, hava mina akish tefillin lemezuzah. I would have thought we make a hekesh from tefillin to mezuzah like we learned on Amud Aleph, and therefore she should be chayiv because a woman's chayiv in mezuzah. So tzricha, therefore, that's why we needed those two. So therefore, we still can learn out from them that a woman is potter mitzvah sasei says man grama. It's an interesting thing. I get this question fairly often. Women ask, can they put up mezuzah? For some reason, they think like they're not allowed to put up mezuzah. They're just as chayiv in mezuzah as men, right? They could put up mezuzahs, right? It's not a problem. I don't blame them for being scared. They're potter from pretty much everything else that's on parchment. So why should they think they're potter from mezuzah too, right? But they're mezuzah they're chayiv. Okay, so I'm going to ask,
I think the women think it's a man's job. That's why they think it's like a man's job because it's to do with the house.
Yeah, but then she should expect to do it just like all the other men's jobs that the men don't do, David, right? So figure add this one.
Well, that's why she gets a little scared because she thinks that maybe the man's going to think that's my job.
No, but the men don't do their jobs, right?
Some of them, I guess.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Okay. Matzah v'hakel nami tzricha. Matzah and hakel also need it, right? I mean, we should also need it. You need matzah and hakel. So Gemara says lamai tzrichi. What do you need matzah and hakel for? Meaning matzah and hakel to tell you that women are chayiv in those. Bishlam because of Rahmana hakel v'loy because of matzah. If the Torah would write hakel and not write matzah, you'd learn out test from sukkahs, and then they'd be potter. Why don't you write it by matzah? And you don't need hakel. And then I'm going to say tefillin chayav, and people that are tafel are chayiv, meaning kids are chayiv in Riyah, right? Kids, right? That's the first mission chagiga. Kids are chayiv in Riyah. Nashim like kol shekain, shouldn't women also be chayiv? Hilkoch havalu beis ksuvim abayin kechad ve'im melamdin. So therefore, the two ksubim coming to say the same thing, and we can't learn anything out from there. Okay, fine. Hanicha lemanda amar ein melamdin. Right. So we're going according to the shita that says two psukim saying the same thing. You don't learn anything out from them. Elamanda melamdin Michael and Meimar. Right. But there's a shita that holds that you could learn out from two psukim saying the same thing. So if that's the case, so what are you going to say? How do you know the mitzvah say that's not as man groma women are chayiv? How do you know? The yolf mimayra, because we learn it out from Myra, right? That women have the mitzvah or the chiyuv of fearing the parents. My Myra nashim chayavas. Just like women are chayiv in Myra, af kol mitzvah say shalayas my groma nashim chayavas. So too every other mitzvah to say that's not time related, women are chayiv in. Right? If that right, v'neilav mitalmud Torah. Why do you learn out from Talmud Torah though? Meaning now we're switching gears. Till now we're talking about mitzvah say shazman groma. Now what about mitzvah say shaloyazman groma? How do you know women is chayiv to mitzvah say not time related? So we say we learn it out from Myra. Fearing parents is not a time-related mitzvah. You got to always fear your parents, right? So, but women are chayiv in that. So Gemara is saying, well, why should you learn it out from Myra? Why don't you compare women for Talmud Torah? Just the same way Talmud Torah is a mitzvah say, right? And women are potter. So learn out from there that women are potter from all mitzvah says. So Gemara answers, Talmud Torah period of a rivya. because Talmud Torah and Pru Revu are two ksuvim saying the same thing, right? Because women are potter from Pru Revu, they're potter from Talmud Torah. So therefore, you can't learn it out from them. We have two psukim saying the same thing. We can't learn it out from there. On Talmud Aleph. Right? According to Rabbi Yochanan ben Broika, right? The feminists should like this one. He holds that women are chayiv in Pru Revu, because when it says Vayivarech Esam Elikim Pru Revu, right? Michael Meimar, yeah. So the Gemara says, "Mishum da have a Talmud Torah pidyon ben shnei ksuvim abayin keechad," because Talmud Torah and pidyon ben are two ksuvim abayin keechad, right? Because Talmud Torah they're potter from, like we've said, and pidyon ben we said that they're potter from. Shnei ksuvim abayin keechad ein melamdin. Fine. Well, Rabbi Yochanan ben Broika, Nami Navi Pirya Verivio Myra Shnei ksuvim abayin keechad ein melamdin. Why don't you say according to him, Pru Revu they're chayivin, and Myra they're chayivin? So those are two pasukim saying that women are chayiv, and mitzvah says Shaloi Hazman Groma. So you shouldn't learn out from there that to all other mitzvahs say Shaloi Hazman Groma. So my answer is tzrichi. No, you need to have those two. You need to have two psukim to say that. Because Rachmana Myra v'loikatz Pirya Rivya. Because if the pasuk says Myra and not Pirya Rivya, Havamina v'kivshua Amar Rachmana. The Torah says kivshua, right? Ish the darka lechavesh in isha shein dar lechavesh loy. Right. This is the more classic Torah. Right. Women are potter from Pru Revu because it says v'kivshua. Why are you supposed to have kids? So you conquer the land. Women don't conquer. Women are not part of the army. Right. So ish the darka lechavesh in isha the ein dar lechavesh loy. Because of Piriv, and if it would have said Pru Revu, like Kasam Myra, and we wouldn't have said that women are chayiv in Myra. In fearing the parents, how mina ish the sipik biyadei lasis. Like we said, a man has the ability to fear and be respecting his parents because he doesn't have any. It's very interesting if you look at the Rashi here. Sipik biyadei lasis. The Rashi is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 thin lines down. Rashi says, "What do you mean? What does it mean? A man is sipik biyadei lasis because he's the man in charge, right? He's in charge. The woman is subordinate to the husband. The man is not subordinate to the wife, right? So therefore, she's subordinate to her husband.
And one of the kids knocked out the internet.
He was his wife.
Now she's giving a share. I hear her in the background. Liner, are you calling him, Liner?
I think he knows, but
I stopped it pretty fast. Somebody unplugged it?
that's what parrot said.
You can go to Naftali's house if you want.
No, usually when this crowd's on my mother, he can get unplugged. Okay.
Yaakov.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
since this lady she doesn't have a mitzvah Pru Revu, but the doctor is a man to marry ladies. Can the lady say she'll marries him and she'll physically be with him, but only if she could use birth control? She don't want to have kids. She don't have no mitzvah.
No, because she's meshubah.
She won't take the mitzvah of no away. That she's fine.
Yeah, but she still has the shibud to the husband. She has the shibud to the husband.
So that would be grounds for divorce?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. It would be. But it's interesting because a lot of times it's the woman that wants to have more kids and the husband doesn't want to deal with the pregnant wife.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So whatever that is. But anyways. So but you saw the Rashi, that's where it left off, right? You see the Rashi is saying L'chabed is aviv, right? A man has the ability to be mechabed his father. She'ein emas acherim alav. He doesn't have anybody else's fear on him. Mashenke, the woman has the fear of somebody on her.
Clearly, they didn't know our women.
They certainly did not. Yes, if you didn't think marriage changed, but that's what we discussed last week. That's they are mechuyev in. I'm saying a married woman's be'etzem potter from kibbutz avayim. If that's if husband insists, right?
She's not. She's potter, or where it conflicts with her husband. She's potter.
Well,
Yeah.
whatever her husband wants, she's meshubah to her husband. Yes, and we said the husband shouldn't be a jerk and let his wife go. Shulchan Aruch says that once a month she can go even without the say hello or something like that. Once a month, maybe the husband will visit her parents. I know it sounds crazy, but that's but the bottom line is that she's meshubah to the husband. Anyway, so Sahaba mina ish to see the other last in. So he's mechuyev. Isha they ain't see the other last. It's a woman. How could she go fear her parents if she has to fear her husband? Loy. So you would think maybe she's not chayiv. Even they ain't see the other last. It's like chayiv klal. So since she's not always going to have the ability to have moira for her parents, so maybe she shouldn't be chayiv at all. So tzricha, that's why you need the psukim by pru revu and moira to tell you that women are chayiv in that anyways. But you could still learn out from there to every other mitzvah in the Torah, mitzvah to say that they're chayiv in it. The Gemara asks again, so this all works according to the shita that says that if there's two psukim saying the same din, we don't learn out from it. But according to the shita that says melamdin, what are you going to say? Amar Rava Pafunai. Amar Rava, I'm sorry. Rava said Pafunai, the people from Pafun, Yodalei L'Taima the Hamilsa. They know how to explain the pshat here. Umanu Rav Acha bar Yaakov. Amar Kra, the pasuk says V'hay l'chois al yadcha, who is a karoin bein enechel mantia teres Hashem beficha. Right, it should be an ice on your arm. And between your eyes, then Hashem's the Torah's Hashem's will be in your mouth. So we compare the whole Torah to tefillin. Ma tefillin mitzvah seish as man groma, but nashim petura. Right, the tefillin is a mitzvah seish as man groma, and women are potter. Avkol mitzvah seish as man groma, nashim petura. With the mitzvah seish as man groma, nashim petura. In this, the mitzvah seish as man groma, women are potter. Mechlal the mitzvah seish loy as man groma, nashim chayavos. Right, it's if you're saying that women are potter from mitzvah says shazman groma or from shazman groma, that means mitzvah says shaloy azman groma, they're chayiv. Gemara asks, "Hani chol we're tefillin mitzvah says shazman groma." Right? Tefillin is a mitzvah says shazman groma. Elamad we're tefillin mitzvah says shaloy azman groma. Ma'ikol meimar. What are you going to do with that? Because there is a shita that says that tefillin is a mitzvah says shaloy azman groma. The Gemara answers, "Man shamet leidamer tefillin mitzvah say shaloy azman groma." Who's the shita that says that tefillin is a mitzvah say shaloy azman groma? Rameir, the sover lo shnei ksuvin abayim ke'echad, and he holds of the din of shnei ksuvin abayim ke'echad, v'chol shnei ksuvin abayim ke'echad ein l'lamdin. So it's Rameir. So Rameir holds shnei ksuvin abayim ke'echad. We don't learn out. Fine. Rabbi Yehuda damer shnei ksuvin abayim ke'echad l'lamdin. Utfilin mitzvah say shaloy azman groma ma'ikol meimar. Okay, so Rabbi Yehuda holds the opposite. He holds any two psukim that are coming to learn to say the same thing, you still learn out from them. And he also holds tefillin and mitzvah say shaloy azman groma. So then, what are you going to say? So my answer is from to have a mitzvah simcha v'hakel shloishik ksuvin abayim ke'echad, because you have the mitzvah of simcha. I'm sorry, to have a matzah simcha v'hakel, not mitzvah, because matzah women are chayivin. Simcha they're chayivin, and hakel they're chayivin. Those are shloishik ksuvin abayim ke'echad. Shloishik ksuvin abayim ke'echad ain't melavdin. The Torah already has to say in 3 different places that women are chayiv mitzvah say. In these mitzvah say shazman groma, you can't learn out from that. Fine. Okay, so then the Gemara says v'chol mitzvah loisa say, right? Any mitzvah loisa say women are chayivin, except for 3, which we'll get to. Right? So, how do you know that women are chayiv and loisa says? Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav V'chein Tana Doei Rabbi Shmuel Amar Kra Ish or Isha Kiyasam Mikol Chatois Ha'adam. A man or a woman who do any sort of chatos, Hishra any chet. Hishra kosev isha lishel chol ein shebetayra. It says isha, and it talks about doing a chet. So Mamela, they're chayiv in every lav in the Torah. That's one limud. Eliezer tam hamakra asher tasim lifneihem. Right, these are the halachas that you put in front of them. Hishra kosev isha lishel chol dinim shebetayra. All dinim in the Torah, women are the same as men. Vechizkiya tana hamakra v'himis ish aisha, and the shar is talking about a shar killing, and it kills a man or a woman. Hishra kosev isha leish l'chom nisa shebetayra. Anytime there's a misa in the Torah compares man to a woman. Okay, so what do we have? We have three limudim here that tell us that women are chayev and loisas, right? Things that you're not supposed to do, women are chayev. So what do we need? Three. The tzricha. If it would have said the first pasuk, that's talking about a korban shvuas api cousin, that meaning the gezel ager, yeah. Mishum kapara chas rachmana, because the whole thing is out the kapara. So the Torah wants a woman to be able to get a kapara. Aval dinin, but dinin choshem mishpat ema ish. In a man who's a businessman, he does business, so he has to keep laws of stealing and not ripping people off, etc., etc. Isha loy, but a woman maybe not. Yashmin and her, I never would have just said dinim mishum dechiyusehi, because if a woman doesn't have to keep dinim in both ends, meaning if you do something to a woman, you're going to be potter, and if a woman does damages, she's going to be potter. She's going to be taken advantage of, right? If you know that you could just steal, women are not part of halacha, of Laisa said, so people are just going to steal from women and finish. Or women are going to steal from others and going to say, I'm potter. Right? Ava kaifer, ema, but kaifer, which is what you pay for when your animal kills on the days now, we're on the Lamanei Mabeis Rachman. Ish the bar mitzvah in Ishalai, so you think a man who has to keep all the mitzvahs in the Torah, so then he has kaifer. Ishalai, but a woman does not. So fine. V'yashmin and ha, and everyone only say kaifer, mishum deika ibn neshama, because there's somebody died. So chas rachman Allah, Torah had rachmanis on her. Aval hanoch tarti, but the first two emaloi, that has nothing to do with killings. So therefore, maybe she wouldn't be included. So tzricha, that's why we need all three psukim. Fine. Bottom line is, from these three psukim, we know that women are chayiv in lavin. It's interesting that, why didn't they just say a svara? What, women are not yidden? It seems like, well, we have to fish for psukim to make that women are chayiv, and are they not yidden? It seems like the Gemara's havamina, as that a woman is not really a yid. And what I mean by yid, I mean, well, if you're not keeping mitzvahs to say, if you need a pasuk to tell you that they have to keep mitzvahs to say, shaloi zman grama, and you need psukim to tell you that they have to keep loisas, so then, I mean, why don't we ask that about men? How do we know a man has to keep mitzvahs? Right? Doesn't ask that. It's an interesting thing that we need. That means like, it sounds like the havamina would be.
Is the most of the shyness in the psukim about ish?
Yeah, but I'm saying, why is that?
Because there's a lot of things that they're exempt from, the ladies.
No, the only thing they're exempt from is mitzvah says shazman groma. That's it. Everything else they're chayiv in.
Tum and tahara.
They're part of tumah. Sure. They're still keeping tumah and tahara nowadays.
I understand, but not. Well,
It's Mekar for Rashi. Rashi on Eila HaTorah, the mitzvah v'achukim, v'mishpatim.
yeah.
Rashi explains the differences. Rashi says the mishpatim don't think they're moral values. Do them because they're mitzvahs, because the Torah said, because the Eibishter told us we have to do the mishpatim. This is the Mekar for that. I need the Mekar, the women have to keep it also, because it's not moral, it's not just because it's the right thing to do. It's because the Eibishter said to do it. So who did the Eibishter tell? We need to know.
Okay, but yeah. I don't know. Whatever, it's just a Yeah. Fine. Okay, let's see weiter. So chutz bal takif bal tashchis, right? And right, so if they're only chiyum that they're not part of, if you can't pay it, they don't have to keep pay it. They're allowed to shave their face, or any place else for that matter. And what's the other one? And they can if she's a kohen, she's a bas kohen, she can become tummy. Now those are the three they're not part of. So Bishlam about the Tamil Mason, that they're not part of the Isser of becoming tummy to Mace, to Siv, Emer ala kohen and Bnei Aaron. It says, say to the kohen and Bnei Aaron, v'loi Bnei Aaron. It says Bnei Aaron and not Bnei Aaron. And about talking about Tashkis, how do we know that women don't have the mitzvah of payas and they don't have the mitzvah of shaving? It says don't round out your head, which is payas. And it says don't destroy your beard. If you're in destroying the beard, then you're in the din of payas. Since they're not in the din of shaving the beard, less nuba akafa. So they're not in the isser of payas. Now, why are they not part of the isser of shaving the beard? How do we know that they're not part of the isser of shaving their face? It's a svara. The less lo yislu zaken. They don't have a beard, right? If they don't have a beard, how can they be in the chiyuv? So Mamela don't have a beard, so the Mamela they also don't have a payas issue. Biba is saying makro, you could say it's a pasuk. Don't makro lois to keep a pas roishchem v'lois tashvis is pas kanecha. Medeshani krab dibure, the im kein nefter rachmona paas kanechem. Excuse me. When the pasuk changed the lashon, right? It should have said paas zekeinchem, right? It says like to keep a pas roishchem plural. And then it says ta'asik kanecha lashon yachid. So the pasuk changed it. My zekanecha v'loy zaken ishtecha. This beard means you're not allowed to shave your beard, but your wife is allowed to shave her beard. Since your wife is allowed to shave her beard, she's not part of payas either. V'loy, and a woman's not also to shave her beard. Vatanya zaken the kan isha v'asara shelu seyor. If a woman happens to grow a beard. Or a saris. Now, saris is somebody who can't have kids. He doesn't. He doesn't have puberty. So if they happen to get hair, haray hein kizakin l'chol derayim, it's considered a regular beard, right? So you see, women, if they grow a beard, would be part of a chiyuv. My love la shchasa wouldn't be. What aren't we talking about? Destroying the beard? You can't say that it's answering a woman from shaving a beard. The other pa'as from Bnei Aaron, because we learn out Xera Shava pa'as from Bnei Aaron. Malala Nashim Petura. It says like over there, women are potter. Afkan Nashim Petura. So too, women are potter too. Right. So therefore, it can't be that. And what it says, Visvir alone. If you go like that what Abaye says that it can't. That you have pa'as Xera Shava. The Chisa calls it Bnei Aaron Akule and Yoneksiv. When it says Bnei Aaron, it's talking about the whole parsha, meaning and women are parted from everything in that parsha. Nishta kramine. So then let the pasuk not say anything. Let it be quiet. But tasty v'kavachomer. Learn out from a kavachomer. Anamina, what's going to say? Anamina say ma kaihanim shriva v'hena custom mitzvahs. He says we know that kaihanim have many extra mitzvahs. Bnei Aaron v'loy bnei Aaron, and it says that only men and not women. So Yisrael like kol shekain, wouldn't it be a kol shekain that Yisraelim women are potter? So when it says Ilav Zera Shava, I mean a Hifstika Indian. If not for the Zera Shava, I would have thought that it's a Hifstika Indian. Meaning
what are we trying to prove here? What are we trying to prove here?
We're trying to prove why or how women are potter from the Isser of shaving, and once they're also from the Isser of shaving, then they're also from the Isser of payas. That's what we're trying to do. Right? So we're trying to compare it to all these psukim by Kehanim. So now the question is, do we just compare women to all the whole parsha of Kehanim. Talking about not becoming. What some of the things in the parsha there is not becoming tamei. And then as we're going to see in the bottom of it here, you're not allowed to make what do you call it, in their head. They're not allowed to shave parts of their head. They're not allowed to cut themselves. But it says they're B'nai Aaron. The question is, when it says B'nai Aaron, does that mean all these isurim of the shaving the parts of the head, not cutting themselves, that apply to women or not? The Gemara is thinking right now that it does. Right? And Mela, that's how we know that they're not part of the Isser and shaving. The Gemara says, if not for the Gzeirah Shava, I would have thought then that there's a hifzik in you, meaning that it doesn't go on the whole parsha. So the Gzeirah Shava is telling you, yes, it does. And Mela, the women are potter from everything. And what I asked, Hashtanami name a hifzik in you. If that's the case, so let's say that it is hifzik in you. Mishum Gzeirah Shava, maybe you're going to say the Gzeirah Shava, which tells you that it's not. We need the Gzeirah Shava for something else. Lo yikalechu. It says that the Kehanim are not allowed to shave. So you would think that even if he used the scissors, he'd be chayiv. It has to destroy. This gets into the whole shaver thing, but let's finish this first. You would think that if you did it with a Melaket and Rehitni, those are like gardening tools, but they're metal, and he uses that on his face. You would think he'd be chayav tam. Says okay, right, this is the mamish. The whole shaver sugya is right on these words. Giluach that has hashchasa. Aviyomer is and that's referring to a razor. So we need the Gzeirah Shava to tell you that it's dafka shaving with a razor, right? But it's not going to tell us that a woman are potter. Right? So now again, this is why the whole thing gets into it, an electric shaver. Electric shaver is a scissors action that's done obviously with electricity, so it makes that scissor action extremely fast, and it cuts the beard. The question is, scissors is pshat that you need two blades in order to cut the hair. A razor only needs one blade. That doesn't mean we're referring to the one blade. Now the day goes by, I don't get asked about the Relco or whatever, Phillips one blade. That's not what I'm talking about. A razor, pshat is you're taking the metal and rubbing it on the skin, that cuts it off. A scissors, if you did that with a scissors, it wouldn't cut. It's not sharp enough. You need the scissors action together with two pieces, meaning two pieces of metal. The scissors action is what makes the shaving. So that's what it is. If you just use the scissors, that's not a problem because it's not destroying the hair. Right? That's where that holds. So the whole thing with the shavers is, do these metal blades by themselves cut the hair even without the scissor action? That's why a lot of pipes can open up the blades and they check to see how sharp the thing is, will it cut the hair by itself? Anyways, but that's all based on partially the Gemara. Right? Fine. Anyways, getting back to the Gemara. So maybe that's why you need the pasuk. So the Gemara answers him, "Can niftakra et shebezikonecha." Right? It's just say your face. My pa'asikonecha. What does it say? The corners of your face. Shmami no tarti. Telling us two things: women, and that you need to have, and that a razor. It's ve'elahadatani zaken isha. Ve'asara shehelu se'arein kizaken l'chol devrayim. That if a woman happens to grow hair, it's considered a beard. So what's it coming to tell you? Meaning we just said, there's a pasuk there's a brisa that says that women are chayiv to shaving if they have a beard. So now what would that be referring to? It's talking about tzaras. So basically tzaras, if the tzaras starts growing white hairs, then we know that it's tzaras. Right? So then once you have the tzaras, you're not allowed to cut it off. So if a woman gets a tzaras and there's hair growing out of that tzaras on the face, then that she's even though she's a woman, that's considered like it's an Isser. And when it says Tumas Nagayim B'Hedjiksiv, but Tumas Nagayim it says Perish. The Isha Kiyeboy Nega B'Roisha B'Zakan. There it says a woman or a man who has a tzaras on the head or in the beard. So you don't need the psukim here to tell about it on the beard. You're right. It doesn't need it to tell you which tzaras is tameh. Coming tell you which one is how to be matarit. Right? Meaning, after tzaras is over, you have to shave the whole body, etc., etc. To be matar from the gam is also pasuk. Even the bas tumahi, bas tari. Once we know that she gets tzaras, then avada she's going to come. She has to have a way to become tar from it. It says it's just like that when it's tzadim. Maybe the psukim are coming for tzadim. Ish ay isha kiya by nega beroish. It's a man and a woman who has a nega on the head. Oy bezakan hadar asan leish. The word oy bezakan is only going on the man. Kamash malan that we don't split the pasuk that way. Meaning we were reading the pasuk isha kiya by zakan beroish oy bezak kiya by nega beroish oy bezakan. We were reading it as both. It's going both on the man and the woman. So Gemara says no. Maybe I would have thought to read it isha kiya by nega beroish. That's for nega on the head is man and woman. Oy bezakon, that's only going on the man. Kamash malan, it's telling us that it doesn't. And it's going on both. Isi Tani, Shana, should we stop here? Tomorrow's time is at 9:30. Yeah, let's stop over here because it's a new sugya. It's a new sugya. But,
what do you want to do tomorrow?
He adds a fourth isser for women that they're not part of, which is destroying themselves, which is quite interesting because nowadays it's the women that have usually the cutting themselves issue, right? Psychologically, there are women that are cutting themselves. It's not usually a man thing. Anyways, okay. Have yourself.
The cutting is not all a mace, that's what it's going to come down to, right? And it's the cutting, but it is a big issue. It is a big psychological issue,
What time tomorrow?
Yeah.
Because it's the fast. We're doing it early. We're doing it after the fast.
We already discussed it.
Oh, I missed it. Okay.
Yep, you missed
I
it.
joined late. Okay, fine. I'll find out.
8:30
What
tomorrow.
time?
Doc, you just missed the time.
8:30. 8:30 regular time.
Regular time. Okay.
And all the guys who were here, Peretz is taking us to Doma, but he said the guys who were not on, he's not taking.
Is there any from Malka tonight?
For you, yeah. Because it's a fast take.
Naftali, that was last night, buddy.
Last night was Yontif. I'm asking Matzi Yontif. Is there any from Malka?
Here's everybody.
We have a bunch of Yontifim coming. Is there any from Malka Matzi Yontif or no?
Nope. We had that Gemara in
think
Shabbos.
Does it? No.
What do you say?
Good year. I think there's a sheet that says yes. No.
That's how I'm at. I'm checking. Yeah.
Didn't we have that Gemara by Igla Tilsa? Woo.
That what?
Same as Besamim. There's no Indian Matzi Yontif. Or Matzi Shabbos into Yontif.
I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
You remember it?
I thought I did. I don't know. Are you doing Musar tomorrow night?
Musar?
Yeah.
Why you want to know if you can come on late or not?
No, I'm wondering, considering what's on the daf tomorrow night.
What?
The Bryce of Banamatem.
Oh, tomorrow, yeah. Tomorrow's all about
That's a real Aseris Yimei Tshuva Bryce. Einatem Kriyim.
Yeah.
Even Reb Meir, Bein Kach U'Bein Kach, is only after Tshuva, according to Rashi.
Oh. Yeah, this
It's a tough brisa. Considering the song of the Daf tomorrow is Bein Kach U'Bein Kach.
is that it?
Yeah, parrots. What's
Is
the
that-
Avram Fried? Bein Kach U'Bein Kach. That's
Yeah,
Bonim
yeah,
Atem Lashem Lekechem, no?
Yo,
Yeah.
is that what it is? Those are the first part?
Bonim Atem. Yeah, I think so.
If you think somebody's a gun and you find out the mother's Jewish and they took pictures of your child and did laundry for you on Yom Tov or did their own laundry or whatever, what do you do in that case?
She did laundry on Yom Tov?
Yeah. Took pictures.
Pictures you could use.
In the laundry, you got to redo it.
You don't have to redo it, but you have to wait the day she asks.
You have to what?
You have to, for the laundry, you have to wait a long enough time that it would take to do the laundry.
I got you. All right. Say. Not sure why they did the laundry in the first place. But... Say. All right. Shavua toes. Tiago, you want to do slichas tonight? They just texted me.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna have the koyach to stay